At some point, almost everyone feels stuck. Not lost, not confused, just unable to move forward. You might know what you should do, you might even want change, but something invisible keeps holding you in place. And the most frustrating part is this: from the outside, nothing looks wrong. This video isn't about motivation. It's not about discipline or positive thinking. It's about the psychological mechanisms that quietly create the feeling of being stuck, even when you're capable, intelligent, and self-aware. Most people think feeling stuck means not knowing what you want, lacking direction, being lazy or unmotivated. Psychologically, that's not accurate. Feeling stuck is usually a conflict, not a lack. A conflict between what feels familiar and what feels uncertain, between psychological safety and psychological growth. You're not stuck because you don't want change. You're stuck because change threatens something the mind is trying to protect. One key concept behind feeling stuck is called cognitive homeostasis. It means the mind prefers balance, even if that balance is uncomfortable. Just like the body regulates temperature, the brain regulates identity, expectations, emotional predictability. When life starts to shift too much, the brain resists, not to harm you, but to maintain stability. This is why people stay in unfulfilling routines, unsatisfying roles, predictable dissatisfaction. The mind chooses the known discomfort over the unknown possibility. Most people misunderstand feeling stuck because they look for the wrong cause. They think, I need more motivation. I need clarity. I need confidence. But motivation doesn't solve psychological resistance. You can feel deeply motivated and still feel stuck because the problem isn't desire, it's internal conflict. Part of you wants change. Another part wants safety, familiarity, and identity consistency. Until that conflict is understood, action feels heavy. Here's something rarely discussed. Feeling stuck is often about identity protection. The brain isn't just protecting comfort, it's protecting who you believe you are. Change threatens identity questions like, if I change, who do I become? What if this proves I was wrong before? What if I fail and can't return? So the mind delays action, not because it's incapable, but because it's cautious. Staying stuck feels safer than becoming someone unfamiliar. Another important concept is learned predictability. When life becomes predictable, even in negative ways, the brain adapts to it. Predictability reduces anxiety. So even when a situation feels unsatisfying, the mind thinks, at least I know what to expect. This is why people can feel stuck for years without making dramatic changes. The cost of predictability feels lower than the risk of uncertainty. One hidden consequence of feeling stuck is self-doubt. Not because you're incapable, but because inaction slowly erodes trust in yourself. Each delay quietly sends a message. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I should wait. Over time, this turns temporary hesitation into a belief. And once self-doubt becomes part of identity, movement feels even harder. Another consequence is emotional flattening. When people stay stuck too long, they often stop feeling excitement, but also stop feeling urgency. Life becomes muted, not painful enough to force change, not fulfilling enough to feel alive. This emotional middle ground is one of the hardest states to escape, because nothing feels extreme enough to demand action. In real life, this shows up as repeating the same conversations, planning without acting, consuming self-help without applying it, waiting for the right moment. People often blame circumstances, but the deeper issue is psychological resistance, not external limitation. Feeling stuck is less about what you can't do and more about what the mind is not ready to let go of yet. Here's the most important insight. The opposite of feeling stuck is not confidence. It's tolerance for uncertainty. Progress begins when the mind accepts, I don't need to feel ready. I don't need certainty. I only need movement. Small, imperfect actions gently retrain the brain to tolerate change. And once tolerance increases, resistance decreases. Feeling stuck doesn't mean you're broken. It means your mind is trying to protect something: familiarity, identity, predictability. Understanding that changes the relationship from frustration to clarity. And clarity doesn't demand force. It invites movement, slowly, imperfectly, but honestly. This is the kind of hidden psychology we explore here, not to pressure change, but to understand why it feels difficult in the first place. If this made you pause for a moment, explore the channel for deeper psychological insights.